let's talk about ghosting. Oftentimes, in my generation, it's become a normal practice. And what I've learned is some people do it because of lack of accountability and, it's terrible. What do. We always have that part of it, but there's also a lot to learn from that practice as well. I actually have learned a lot. I've been ghosted quite a bit, and I've learned a lot from being ghosted in connection to codependency. Um, I've been in situationships where I'm waiting for the person to text back, I'm waiting for a call back, and I'm like having anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily a good thing, to be that connected or attached to your partner, because the way you start off the relationship is how you're going to proceed forward in the relationship. So that anxiety, wanting to know where you are, how you're doing, to the point of it's like damn near like you're stalking me, you're not giving me my space. Now my thing is I would never express that. I'm the type to have this all in my mind, is to be like, man, I wonder why they're not texting back, why they're not calling back. But I would never go up to my partner and actually be like, oh, when you don't hit me back, it bothers me. Or I would never say that. I would just be like, oh, okay, whenever they hit me back up, maybe hours later, maybe a day later, then they would be like, oh, I got busy at work. And I would say, okay, that's cool. I would never even let it be known that I was feeling some type of way. But I know how I was going, what was going on in my mind. And I know that that's not the way to be in any type of relationship. I need to be cool, calm, and collected and relaxed. If I'm always on edge, then what's the point of being in a relationship? What's the point of being in a relationship if you're not happy? There are always going to be ups and downs, and there's always going to be some sort of friction, butting of heads every now and again. But for the most part, you should be able to want to go up to your partner and be able to say, hey, I've been feeling this type of way. So I know when I was dealing with those periods of anxiety, I know that I was like having some issues with codependency. And I didn't want to admit that. I want to think of myself as this highly educated person, highly independent person, mature person, and who has it all together. And I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I in recent times have become so, well, it doesn't hurt less, but the way that I deal with ghosting, has drastically improved. Like, I would be the type to be like, well, I'm gonna stalk your page. I'm going to, I'm gonna maybe, I don't know, try to, you know, see what your friends are doing just to see if I can get connected to you through your friend. That's something that, a 17-year-old version of Jordan does, a 18-year-old version of Jordan, maybe a 22-year-old version of Jordan. But at 27 years old, it becomes, something that is unacceptable to be that attached. And so now it draws attention back to me, where I'm saying, well, why is it that I feel this way? So, of course, like I said before, ghosting is a terrible, terrible thing, but also look at how you feel when you're being ghosted and your behaviors when it happens. That's really, really important, because if this person is chosen to remove themselves from your life, you ain't really, that's up to them. Like, it's done. You know what I'm saying? Once they, whether the reason is valid or not, once they want to be gone, they're gone. Whatever you're trying to say and whatever you're trying to do is going to be short-lived. Even if they do come back into your life, it will be temporary. 9 times out of 10 is going to be temporary, because if they wanted to leave and they're showing signs of leaving and they actually left and you have to drag them back in, you have to pull them back in, they don't want you. They didn't see the reason to fight for you. They left, you know? They didn't see you as a priority, so they didn't act like you were a priority, you know? So you begging them, and they may come around, maybe because the other options that they had are no longer available. But so what happens when those options do now become available? Then they ghost you once again. So once a person has decided to do that, it probably is because they are done with you. You know what I'm saying? It's super super painful, but begging for a person to come back, you know, if they're not coming back willingly with some sort of a good ass fucking reason why they were gone willingly, then it's futile. But you pursuing them after they, you know, made it clear that they don't want to be in your life, you know, it's tough. So yeah, but bringing it back to what we were saying about how you react to the ghosting. How you react to the ghosting process is really, really important, because now that this person has disconnected themselves from you, you're back at square one. You're in a relationship once again with yourself, right? So now, although it's painful, really sit with yourself and observe what you're doing. Are you trying to text them? Are you trying to get them back? Like I said before, you're trying to bring them back into your life. Are you trying to stalk them on social media? You got a fake page. You're trying to stalk their friends. Maybe they're liking girls' pictures, or maybe you're dating a guy. He's liking, whoever. They're liking, nowadays everybody's a little bit gay. So people are just liking, let's just say people. People are liking other people's pictures, and you're on there scrolling to see who liked you. It's so addictive to do that. And I've done it. And it just, afterwards, I feel like dirty. I feel filthy. I'm like, oh man, it's like I was in rehab and I was going good, and then I slipped back, and now I'm back on crack. I'm back on that crack, man. That Facebook crack. I'm back looking at your shit because, you know what I'm saying? A person like me, I got good taste. You know what I'm saying? So the girls that I'm attracted to, they look good. They don't stop looking good. You know what I'm saying? But if you ghost me, I gotta really see you for who you are. You know what I'm saying? The person that you are on the inside, if you're ugly like that on the inside, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. It doesn't matter how you treat a select few of people. You're overall just a scumbag. You know what I'm saying? If you're not mature enough to say, hey, I no longer wanted to be in this relationship because of X, Y, Z, or I just don't think, there's a tons of ways to say it. Nowadays, you can go online and you can go on fucking Chat GPT and have AI write a breakup letter for you. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's like if you really don't know how to string together a sentence, you can get that shit done. You copy it, you paste it, so that there's a bit of closure. But to just end abruptly, this person doesn't know what they did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't do anything wrong, but you're just like, the way that you leave it makes it feel like it's them. And then, it causes so much unnecessary hurt and pain. And then it just really shows you, as the person who's ghosting, it shows you that you just lack, like you're a little bit slow. You know what I'm saying? You lack some sort of understanding, And I'm not judging anybody who goes. Maybe we weren't supposed to be together. I'm talking about the people who have ghosted me. Maybe we weren't meant to be together, and that's fine. But I have ended relationships before, and I have been like verbatim. It's just not something that I can do. I can't ghost people. You know what I'm saying? People might be like, "Damn, Jordan, you're really gonna just be honest like that and just say, hey, I didn't like your personality,' or I didn't like, what you said at that first date,' or I no longer want to be in a relationship with you because I don't like your mom." Are you really going to be that honest, Jordan? Yeah. I'm going to be that honest. I'm an honest motherfucker. That's one thing about me. I might not be the smartest. I might not be the most handsome, but you can rest assured, if you ask me something, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm always going to be honest. In fact, as high as the freaking grocery prices are, you will not catch me out here stealing or nothing. I pay for my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at Walmart, Like, y'all motherfuckers be at Walmart not scanning that shit for real. I scan every single one of my items. I take pride in being honest because that's not something that you can buy. You can't buy honesty. You can't buy respect. You can't buy certain things. So when you're honest with someone, even though they might not want to hear what you have to say because it's harsh or because, it's uncomfortable, that's part of being an adult, is going through uncomfortable things and being able to move through that. But if you ghost on a regular basis for no apparent reason, you're not a functioning adult. You're not a real adult. You know what I'm saying? You might be over the age of 21, but you're not an adult. If you can't communicate properly, you're not an adult. You're still mentally, you're a child. And I stand on that. Feel how you want to feel about that, but that's just the honest truth. Communication is everything. The universe communicates. The birds communicate with, everything. Trees, the leaves, everything is communicating with one another. So it's like everything around us is communicating, and you can't communicate. That's a big deal, not to be able to do that. It's inefficient. But going back on what I was saying about your reaction to the ghosting, because now that it's become such a common practice, you just kind of have to expect it, because people are so messed up and they're not in therapy, or maybe they don't even see the importance of therapy at all. They're not even trying to actively pursue it. Nowadays, you have to really just accept that that's something that's going to happen, and really just understand that when in those moments, the best thing for you to do is to really turn inward and watch how you react to it. And some of my tips on distracting yourself, because that's really what you're doing, is distracting yourself from not going into those codependency tendencies. Get out of the house. Get off of your phone as much as possible. Go do things that require you to not be on your phone that's entertaining. Maybe it's bowling. Bowling's kind of expensive. But go do some shit that's free. There's probably things in your local area that you can look up and be like, hey, let me go see this cheap show. Let me go see a movie. Let me go out to dinner. Let me go to the park. Let me go to the library. Let me go to do things, especially within those first 2 weeks of being ghosted by someone. You want to be out of the house as much as possible. The more the time that you're going to be in the house, the more opportunities for you to be on your phone, the more that you're going to want to fucking go back and look and lurk. And it's kind of like reopening an old scab, reopening an old wound over and over and over again. It just doesn't get better. Also, you got friends. I don't really have friends, but if I had friends, I'd be like, hey, let's come over. Like, maybe we don't want to go out because, every time you go out, you're going to spend money. But, hey, come to the crib. You know what I'm saying? We can crack open this bottle of, I don't know, Minute Maid. I don't drink. So we can crack open this bottle of Minute Maid, grape juice, and we can, play video games and hang around the house. You know what I'm saying? Have your friends support you if you can get support from your friends. What else? If you are at work, maybe pick up some extra shifts at work. There's nothing wrong with picking up extra shifts, making extra money. Having extra money might make your pride feel a little bit better. That you're having some extra money in your pocket to maybe save or invest in something. You know what I'm saying? Do something that's out of the box. You know what I'm saying? But the number one thing I can recommend is definitely getting out of the house. Yeah, man. Ghosting is inevitable. Did I say that right? Yeah, ghosting is something that's a common practice, but you don't have to really take that on. People who do that are immature. Don't worry about them, and continue to focus on yourself. That's it.